Hello, all, and amazingly, the four of us are together. I think this is probably the first time, except for Jason, that we've all done a video in the last year, probably since the last time we did this. But we're going to run down the awards, especially the Observer Awards. It's at that time of the season, and probably get sidetracked and talk about a whole other bunch of shit too as we go along. But let's get started, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So before we get started, just big ups to our boy. He can't be here, Chase. We love
Yeah,
you. Hope all is
love it.
well between you
Yes.
and your family. Just big ups to him for
Absolutely.
sure. But I'm going to play the role of him this time around. I wasn't here last year, so I get to give my opinion, which is going to be really cool. We're going to do the same thing that you guys did last year. We're kind of going from like the reverse order of the awards. So the first one that he had on the list was the best pro wrestling DVD or documentary. Um, I don't recall watching a ton this year. So you guys got to kind of give me some ideas of what was out there. Like we didn't have a Dark Side of the Ring season
Yeah,
this
no
year,
Dark
right?
Side of the Ring
No,
this
ring.
year. Yeah, I don't know.
And I
I
didn't
don't
love
know.
the one they had, the Tales of the Territory. I didn't. I mean, they were fine, but nothing
I,
to you needed to
I
watch.
guess you could say the Vince one that they did, the one that just came out, that was
I hadn't seen
okay.
it.
It's
Hadn't seen it.
okay. It's okay if you know if you were okay. I'll put it this way: if you're like my wife and you really didn't get the whole what was going on with Vince McMahon when he left and got kicked out and booted, this is a great. That's a great thing because it tells you everything that pretty much over the last 40 years that he's done that has not maybe been the best. Then, but if you're probably like a lot of like us and know a lot of the stuff, it's just kind of okay. It's not the best. So that's the way
Especially
I
if
would.
you've watched the Dark Side of the Ring series. I mean, it's all
Yeah.
like
It's
clips
all,
taken from it. But
yeah.
like you said, I just feel like if you sit with someone who doesn't know any of the stuff, like their mind would be
It would
blown.
blow
Like,
their
why are you
mind.
watching this? Like, yeah.
I would honestly say for the best of those would be the Kurt Angle A&E documentary because I literally thought it was going to just be everything we knew, but they went into his, his growing up in Pittsburgh, his dad dying, his amateur background, him training at Foxcatcher, his affiliation with the guys at Foxcatcher and the Schultz brothers, and when Dave Schultz died, to transitioning to pro wrestling. Didn't even really indulge in his time in WWE and TNA. It was more just about like his drug abuse, and it was really like a dark kind of look at Kurt Angle. And I just thought it was so well done to take a guy that we all know everything about, but really put in kind of some details that we didn't know, like how bad his addiction was when he was in TNA, because they kind of basically said like it made that time period seem like he was just wasted on pills, which he kind of was at that point in time. But I just thought that one was the best one. Or I'd even give the Rey Mysterio A documentary just for the rare footage of him at like
That's
13
the one
years
I've
old
seen.
making his debut. Like just the rare footage they have in those.
Might have to check those out because my
I,
wife,
am with
I didn't see any
Jason.
of those.
I've
I'm right with
watched
Jason.
my wife watches those, and then she'll watch them and then start asking me questions about, okay, so what didn't they talk about? And so I don't watch them first. I'm always like, because of that. But if those two are good, I will watch those two.
The Angle one, it was just like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. It's not gonna be great. And then it blew me away at how they produced it and things like that. So I would recommend going and watching the Angle one.
I have to check that out.
Cool, cool, cool.
Best pro wrestling book. I only read one book this year, and it was the Brian Gewirtz book. It was pretty entertaining, some cool stories in there. But it was the only thing that I read this year.
I didn't read
I
anything
don't know.
from this year, so
I
like
didn't think
the
I don't
best
think there
thing
was
I
much.
read. Yeah,
I don't think
It
there
was
was
a
much
light
that came
year.
out. Like I'm reading Nitro, but that came out in like 2018, 2017, so I can't count. So
Yeah. And
And
I'm going through the Mox audio book. I read it
that
when
thing
it
is
came out, but
awesome.
I'm going through
That
the
thing is
audio book, and
awesome.
it's just I
yeah,
knew it was going to be
my
good, and
woman
it's
just
it's even better than what I expected.
my woman just got me that Brian Pillman book, but that's old. That's like 2017. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, probably I always use this as what I need to read. I always use this category as what I need to read. I look at what the top five are, and I'm like, okay, these are the books I need to read.
All
So
right. All right. Worst gimmick. Last year's winner was Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah, that had every right to win last year.
Is it wrong to say Bray Wyatt can win
That's
this year?
that's what I was gonna
yeah,
say.
say.
That's what I was gonna say.
I-
Yeah,
Because I'm gonna have that question a couple times for these awards.
I would
Does
say
he-
yes, because as high as when he came in and then it just like fell off a cliff, like completely, like jumped completely down. It didn't even slope. It was just like there's no. So yeah, I'd be fine with that.
I
I
think
even
everyone
watched the
knows my
intro.
feelings on this, especially after that Uncle whatever the hell thing showed up on SmackDown. I was like, this is the worst thing going on in pro wrestling today. Like, I don't understand why people think this guy's so great. They give him too much
Fans
control.
love
It's stupid. It's the worst. It's awful.
They love it.
I love it.
and then it's wild because when he comes back, he goes, "I don't want to be the Fiend," and then they all boo because that's why they brought him back, to be the Fiend. It's yeah, man. No, yeah, it's got to be him.
I'm only watching YouTube clips and Twitter clips, but from what I've seen, it's just still the worst thing.
I actually, because I have Peacock, but I don't have Peacock for the network. I don't watch anything WWE on there. But when he did his return, because so many people were like, "Oh, this was this thing," I fast forwarded through the pay per view, watched it, and was like, "What is this?" Because it went on forever. It was just not, and I was like, "This is not for me. This is for somebody."
Yeah, I felt weird because everyone was so excited, and I usually like his spooky stuff. Like I used to like it, but like that didn't do anything for me, man. It was so overproduced and
When was
Dragged
this that you
on.
liked
Oh,
it?
no,
Like
I
2014
like
or
yeah, like 2014,
Okay.
2015 ish.
Right, right.
You know what I mean, but I don't know what happened, man.
next on
Sister
here
Abigail happened.
we have is the best gimmick. Last year was Tribal Chief.
Wouldn't it be the honorary Sammy Uso? Like, is that a gimmick? Does that count? Like, I feel like that whole thing is the best thing going on.
This
in
war
the
is always
business.
weird, but it seems like that's the best thing that's going on right now. I don't watch, but it seems like everyone's enjoying it universally.
Best gimmick. I don't know. We'll go with that one. I can't think of anything else.
I mean, unless you went
Can't
with
think
like,
of anything else.
unless I don't think it would win, but unless you went with like Danhausen or something like that. So, but yeah, I would say the whole. I don't like it, but the whole tribal chief, whatever part.
Yeah,
of that
people love it, man. Hey, their fan base is into it, so you can't argue with that.
The promoter of the year,
Rossi Ogawa,
do you think he should get it?
absolutely. Tony Khan will probably win, but
Mhm.
Rossi Ogawa should win. Absolutely.
Is it just
Stardom-
because of the level of shows he put on?
Yeah, it's not just that, but Stardom, even during this pandemic, every year has grown now. You know what I mean? Like, even when stuff like New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, they've been struggling, Stardom is like at its apex and it keeps going this way. Rossi Ogawa, absolutely. The 5-star Grand Prix was by far the most people they ever had in attendance. 11,000 people were at that show. Absolutely.
From
I'll
what
go
I
with
watched,
that.
I would just say with Tony Khan, but again, I probably watched a total of 8-9 Stardom matches on there, but from everything I've seen, everyone says universally liked for sure, so I can understand that.
I'll agree with Marquine because I think aren't they like kind of now working with New Japan, like on kind of that big stage where
Yeah, Bushiroad, yeah.
I really feel like AW after that September incident has just taken a nosedive a little bit down. So I'll give it to Stardom's guy.
Yeah, you can't argue with these ratings, man. They've been not great, man. They've been not great.
What about Book of the Year? Who would you have for that?
That one's tough because I want to go Rossi, but he does things I don't agree with. Tony Khan has frustrated me this year. Triple H started well, and now I'm kind of I don't know. And Gato has peaked really high, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
Gato was always the running guy for me, but I mean, last couple years, not so much. He might step it up this year. We'll see.
We'll see. I think if they have, I think the thing with New Japan is if they have fan interaction throughout the whole year, which it looks like they're probably going to have. I think it's going to help them immensely. You could tell that at Forbidden Door that the New Japan guys were just like feeding off the crowd so much. You could tell they were just like, oh my God, we finally have people like to interact with. But but Tony Khan will probably win this. But I don't. This definitely wasn't his strongest year. I don't think there's like a runaway.
Nah.
But I think the flip side of it is that like I don't think the Triple H stuff.
I was gonna ask, do you
was
think he
very
has a
good.
chance at all?
Who, Triple H?
Yeah, I
Hunter.
think he has a shot.
I think I would be shocked if he's not second. I will say that.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be a distant second.
I would agree because like he did come in and bring some much needed excitement to that product, and there were some changes. But when most of your highlights are, I just brought people back that we fired, like that
And
can't
it didn't
win.
do anything.
It can't win.
Do
You cannot
anything
win.
after that.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
And it comes off very much like, oh, I'm just going to keep bringing people back for the illusion of bringing people back. But he hasn't brought anybody back that's been super impactful.
Now, I've heard some people say that he's just waiting for the next batch of deals to do whatever it is he's going to do. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know, but that does make sense. Like, why change anything now when, the status quo is what it is? When you get your new batch of deals, you can put your own stamp on the show. I don't know.
Do you see it being much of a difference than what he was doing on NXT?
That's different from what he's doing now. I would much rather have that. The weekly NXT.
And I mean
great.
the NXT, not the network version, but the USA version.
Oh, no,
those are two different NXTs.
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah, it's. I think he came in on a very high note, and I think the problem is that then the illusion of everything that was like new ended up not being new. And like in NXT, he was able to cycle through people through NXT. That's when NXT was at its best.
Right.
And of course, there came that point where they stopped cycling people through, and as soon as that happened, then NXT really like leveled off and was not nearly as good. But like I said, I would be shocked if he wasn't second. I think he'll get enough people voting for him.
The takeovers are great. The weekly TV was not. The weekly TV was bad. Takeovers are great though.
Worst, we got a bunch of worst coming up. Worst promotion of the year. Vince ran away with it for 4 years in a row.
I don't want to be mean, Brandon. It's to me, it's easily that place in Stamford, Connecticut. Easily, for me. I know everyone is super excited, super jazzed about where
you don't want to ruin anyone's fun. But
yeah, but to me, it's easily it's still bad. The show is still bad, man. There are good things in it, but it's still bad.
It's gone from really horrible to kind of okay. Exactly. The little bit I've seen, which that's still not good. So
I haven't watched enough to really vote them. I mean, I would probably put them as default just because what I did see, it was fine. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch enough of them to even say that they were the worst. But if someone tells me that, I would believe them.
Yeah, I mean, for pro wrestling,
no, we're all wrong. We're all wrong.
It's
the NWA.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the
let's see.
There, yeah. I mean, anyone that puts that title on Tyrus, the
I
legendary,
heard that story was actually good, but still, it's the person that you're using for that story. Like,
who is so out of
hell?
shape and can't work and is the NWA champion. Can't have it.
They have better people there too. That's
I know.
thing.
The roster's good. Davey Richards is signed to MLW and NWA, but they just use him in weird. It's weird, man. It's so weird. So weird. He should be their champion.
Worst feud of the year last year was Randy Orton versus The Fiend and Alexa Bliss. Again, this is one of those things I can ask the question because it's only been a couple months, but Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight would be my choice.
I mean,
that's fair.
I mean, yeah.
No matches. They haven't had any matches, but
I would also say
really bad.
anything with Matt Hardy in AEW was horrific this year. Just anything with Matt Hardy this year was horrific.
That might be my choice.
What is it though?
For me, it's Matt Hardy. Honestly, like that Bray Wyatt stuff. That's just starting. Matt Hardy was in every feud about I own contracts. I don't own contracts. Now he's in a feud where his contract is owned. Like it's
so basically Matt Hardy versus the AHFO.
Yeah, that's
I would
yeah.
put that.
Wasn't Orton and Bray this year?
No,
No.
Bray just came back.
That was last year because remember
Was it
Bray had
last
been
year?
fired.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy's been hurt.
Yeah, and Randy's been out the whole year basically.
He might not wrestle again. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That whole RK Bro stuff was just taken off, and he messed up. He got hurt. Yeah, as Markeem said.
The worst match of the year last year was Miz versus Damian Priest in the lumberjack match.
Oh yeah, the zombie one. Oh
It's
man,
probably some NXT TV match that I've not seen involved,
Thank you.
or one of the NXT up matches. Some of them looked very horrible.
Oh, the level up.
Yeah, the level up.
Oh
Some
yeah,
of
I heard they
them
were
look-
horrendous.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think there was anything like horrific. The only thing that I thought was like stupid was when they wrote Eric Young off Impact by murdering him. I mean that.
Oh
that-
yeah.
but that's not a match. That's more of an angle. That would be my worst of the year.
Oh man.
I would put the one I was thinking was, who was it? Matt Tremont and Nick Gage versus the Briscoe
Oh, the
brothers.
Briscoes. That's
It
a
went
good
like
one.
6 minutes or something like
Yes.
that. It was just
The
the main event of that show is garbage. Yeah,
Yes, that's a good one. That's a
just for the
There's a lot-
profile. I mean, I'm sure there are worse, technically worse matches.
There's a
than
lot
that.
of there's a lot of stuff on that show you can put right here. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my pick for the worst. The worst television show of the year.
NXT.
NXT. It's got to be NXT, right?
Over
NXT
Raw,
2.0.
Raw's still terrible.
It is 3 hours. That is true. It is yeah.
Over Raw, come on.
They've had
I
an
don't know.
8-year run with this award, so I don't know if we want to let it go just yet.
Over Raw, I mean, like, yeah, NXT's not great, but it's 1 hour or 2 hours. I can handle that.
That is true. That is true.
I've heard SmackDown was terrible. I haven't watched enough, but I've heard that show is really, really bad.
But at least SmackDown will give you one good match a week. Like Walter would do something.
And it's only
What
2 hours.
What I would do, even though it's not television, and just to be fair for the stuff that I actually watched, I would probably put Dark Elevation in that role, just because it's nothing but squash matches when we already have a dark show with nothing but squash matches. No BS. Paul White's terrible. I do not like him. I do like Matt Menard. They put him in that seat, and I do like him there. But that would probably be my pick. Is the worst show.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
That's fair.
It's fine. Just put it on the background. I work from home, so all those shows just stay on the background. Just let it do. But again, it's not a great show at all. The last couple of weeks has actually been better, but most of this year has been pretty bad. I do not want to see someone vote for a Rampage. Like, I feel like that's going to get a lot of votes.
But yeah, Rampage might win this.
But it's not a bad show. It's just most of the time it's like a missable
I mean, it's
show.
just,
Like,
it's just nothing.
but
but
it's not necessary.
bad.
I don't think it's bad.
Rampage is just in a terrible time slot. 10 o'clock on a
Yes.
Friday. That is
Exactly.
just when you for the audience you're looking for, they're not home. They're not home. Tony.
I just watch it. It's a Saturday morning at 9 a.m. That's still like the best time
In
to watch
Canada,
it.
it's like only available on the streaming service of TSN, not even on cable, unless CM Punk returns from like a 10-year hiatus. That's the only time they'll put it on actually over there.
The everyone's favorite, most disgusting promotional tactic
Vince
last
McMahon.
year was
Vince
the
McMahon
firing
coming
people.
out on SmackDown. Vince
Yeah,
McMahon coming out on
I'll say
SmackDown.
come on SmackDown, come on Raw, and then also I think you have to combine it with it. Is remember that weird Raw opening when Titus O'Neil came out?
Oh
and
my
was
God.
Like, WWE, like we're never going to talk about politics or sex or IMDb scores or whatever he said. Like that was very, very strange for him to do that. So I would couple all three of those together for sure.
I'll put that. Yeah, that's the winner right there. Anything Vince McMahon related in 2022 is your winner.
Those people are so weird. Man comes out, standing ovation, they're bowing to him. I'm like, bro, are y'all watching the news? Do y'all see what's going on?
Do you know why he's leaving?
Man.
Do you realize why? That's
What's weird is so many people like these sites. Some not
Don't
too
get me
many journalists,
started.
but some, but like none
Don't
of
get
them
me
are talking about this. Like I watched a really popular YouTuber just today, and he was saying like the brawl out situation, you know, it's bigger than like Cody returning to WWE is like the top 2 news stories of this year. I'm like,
So
what is
there's no
going
Vince
on? Like,
McMahon?
how are y'all just like, not acknowledging this? I hate saying that word, but how are you guys not acknowledging what's happening here? But I don't know.
Because they have to admit that that they don't want to talk about it because the WWE fans don't want to hear about it, and B, that
Tough.
a lot of them have not talked about it for years, even though they knew stuff like this was going on, and wouldn't talk about it. And you know, I mean, I got blocked by Satin. Not that that's hard to do.
Cares.
I mean, that's whatever. That's like getting blocked by Hogan. It's kind of like a badge of honor.
If I get blocked by Pete Rosenberg, I'm not gonna like whatever, dude.
Yeah,
I'll block by him too. But for pointing out, you know, the fact that he basically would defend Vince McMahon. This was before all of this came out, but the Vince McMahon stuff without.
I mean, I know we're gonna get to it, but it's like, how is that not the story of the year? This guy fucking left the company under horrific allegations, and they were like, "It's time." He just decided to step down. He just said, "You know what? I'm done. I'm throwing the cap in on a Friday afternoon. Peace out, everyone." After 50 bajillion years in that chair,
It might be the biggest wrestling story of all time.
Oh, it is.
Oh yeah,
Like,
There's nothing
my
ever
lifetime
that.
for sure.
Like, crazy story that is still being stuff coming out.
I would say Benoit is probably a bigger story, but this would be second because this
Benoit's a
historically.
Benoit's bigger because it actually was mainstream, and you know, this was a blip because it's wrestling and people think it's stupid.
And most people in the mainstream thought that Vince McMahon was sleazy anyways, so
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, it's him being sleazy. Who gives a shit? So
Yeah.
The best wrestling maneuver last year was Heyman and Page buckshot lariat. This is always a weird one. I'm always going to go with the move I love the most, and it's still the Stormbreaker. I still think it's one of the coolest looking moves in wrestling.
Something that comes sudden and out of nowhere for me. I don't know what though.
Good
Something
choice.
like that.
Blade Runner.
Good choice.
The Blade Runner, the hidden blade.
can I just put Van Kingo?
Yeah,
in
that's
this?
I was gonna say,
basically
if I
Come on,
can't-
anything the King
Everything he
does is
does.
my winner. It's not my winner. Hey, that's my win.
The worst major show last year was the Survivor Series.
NXT
Ooh.
Halloween Havoc.
Oh yeah, I heard that was all time
I
bad.
have two. One of them is Royal Rumble, which is just god awful show.
Yes, that men's rumble was so boring. It was the most boring.
Who won the Rumble? I don't even
Brock
remember.
Lesnar and Ronda Rousey.
That was
Yeah.
That was Ronda's
Oh,
return.
Remember
yeah,
Brock
yeah, that-
lost the title to Lashley and then won the Rumble.
Yeah,
That was the show that my woman wanted to watch because she heard about the concept of the match because she's just getting into pro wrestling. And she was like, that sounds cool. Let's watch the show. And then it starts with that opener that's pretty good until the fuck finish. And then the rest of the show is trash. That's my choice too. That's it right there. That's it. That's it, the Royal Rumble.
I'd put that. I'd honorable mention Triple Mania. Like, the matches were good, but they had so much technical difficulties.
Which one?
broadcast-
There's
Which one? There was
shows this
three
year.
of them.
the last one that I actually
Okay.
sat down. They didn't bring the commentators, the English ones to Mexico, so they did it through Zoom, and they had so much like technical difficulties, and it was like, poor AAA. They always try to break into America. They have shit like that happen, but that's an honorable mention, not the worst show of the year.
Because the matches were good. That Pentagon match is incredible.
I think an honorable mention for me would again be the GCW, the World on
Oh, yeah.
GCW.
You
Just
know
because
what?
of like the hype that they were getting, like in everything's
That's
coming
what-
along. And,
all
like,
of
I felt like that
2021,
show
they were
tanked.
hot, and then they went to.
They're right
New
back
York
to
and
just like their hardcore
that-
fans, which is cool. But
That's mine because they ruined that opportunity. They
Mhm.
ruined it. Everyone like I've never seen so many eyes on that product, and that show was terrible. They ruined that opportunity. They had a chance, and then it's wild because the next week they put on a great show. It's annoying, man. Why wasn't that show in the Hammerstein Ballroom? It's annoying. It
I
truly
feel
is
that
annoying.
since that show was so bad, that product's taken a huge hit. Like, I don't feel the buzz anymore around
like I said, it's
it.
back to the hardcore fan. They still
Yeah.
love it, but
I mean, I'm sure there's some great stuff. They have some great, cruiserweight type guys, but I just don't feel what I felt last year at this time when we were talking about it. I know they're coming to Canada this year, and I will try to check them out, but
And they'll be big again, like WrestleMania weekend, especially with them being on Fight Plus. I mean, $5, you're gonna get probably
everything.
25 shows. So
I love Bloodsport, so
yeah, I would say Royal Rumble and then the World.
Royal Rumble's the winner. That's flat out.
Such an awful show.
The best part of that story was they blamed Shane for coming back for not bringing.
They fired Shane.
They fired Shane. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. Shane, it's your fault. Damn you, you're fired.
It was just so many like nobodies just coming out one after another. It was just no stars. Just terrible. Best show of the year, best major show of the year. Last year was All Out.
I go Forbidden Door.
Probably Forbidden Door. I also honorable mention to the 5-star Grand Prix. That might be mine. But Forbidden Door just because of what it meant. Like I think the 5-star Grand Prix final was a better show, but Forbidden Door, what it represented, it's got to be show of the year.
I think especially with the build, or maybe like lack thereof of the build.
That and just everything that like could go wrong with that show leading up to it did go wrong with that show. So hopefully we get a show. The show this year is
what it was supposed to be. Yeah, I think so.
What it's supposed to be. So
the worst television announcer last year was Corey Graves. Wow, Jesus. I didn't think it was that bad. Last year was Corey Graves for the worst.
Worst television announcer.
I'm voting for Paul White.
Is he still on TV? Really?
Yeah, he's on Elevation every week. Him and Matt Menard. I like Matt Menard, but not
I mean, for me, I always love him, always respect him, but it's Jim. It's Jim Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotten far.
They did the right thing this year with flipping him to Rampage, so at least Tony kind of understands.
Worst television announcer. Yeah, I mean Jim. I wouldn't put Jim just because I just feel like I can't.
Is Booker T? How's Booker T?
Yeah, is Booker T doing a lot of what the hell?
When I only seen a clip of when Donovan Dijak like reemerged and Booker had no clue who he was. Who? Like, okay. Well. Any other thoughts on that at all? I don't think anyone's passionate about that.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't think anyone's bad. Jim Ross has just been kind of just being an old curmudgeony man at points. But
you can go to default. What's the guy's? I never know his name. The guy that does GCW.
Oh, that's not that is gone now.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone now.
Oh, okay,
he's gone now. He's stopped paying his money to announce, I guess. But
thank God.
Old Peter Rosenberg paying $35,000 to do the pre-show in WWE.
Jesus.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
No, that's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh, okay. I was about to
That's
say.
a joke. Oh man, that'd be some shit. Best television announcer last year was Excalibur. He's not on television for me. He's not on television, but Ian Riccaboni is my choice. Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman.
That was my choice too. But of who's on TV, Excalibur for me.
It's probably Excalibur, and you probably have to look to the UFC with John Anik. I would put those guys as the best television announcers in all of this bubble that's combat sports.
Any objections, Josh? You
Can't
hated
say
Excalibur
anything.
for years.
No, I would vote for Excalibur. It'd be either him or Taz, one of the two.
Oh yeah,
Taz gotten really good this year.
Yeah, Taz.
Yes, because they'll stop making Taz being an idiot on television. They just let him be Taz. Let him be Taz. Don't let him be like, and just making jokes with Excalibur. Let him fucking call a match and break down a submission hold. Yes, I want to hear that. I don't want him to be a fucking goof on television. No one wants to hear
it
that.
Also helped that he broke his group up, so that way I had to worry about that.
Yeah.
It's just like him as an announcer.
I think he was even fine with that. I think the biggest thing is that he likes wrestling again. I think that's probably the biggest part.
And as always, shout out to Kevin Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
always phenomenal.
Doing those shows from the basement.
We don't deserve him.
Little half-second lag. Chris Charlton, his audio
his-
being a little bit too louder than anyone else's. They did what they could, man. Yeah, definitely shout out to them. Best non-wrestler last year was what do they call him? What Paul Heyman? What's his name?
He's
Oh,
the
wise man.
Wise man.
It'd probably be him again because there's.
Can I put
nobody-
Dan Lambert in there? Dan Lambert ruled.
He did.
Still.
Was he there 2022?
For a little bit.
Yeah,
For a little bit.
Well, if we're
Dan
doing a little
Lambert.
bit, then my pick is Rick, the biggest boss, Rick Ross. Phenomenal.
Allegations.
Absolutely phenomenal.
I wish he didn't wrestle because my easiest choice would be Jeff Jarrett. Like easily.
No, that's wrestler of the year.
Get to that Warrior soon.
It's coming.
He's drawing ratings on Rampage, man. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Best non-wrestler though. I don't
I mean, it's Heyman until somebody like gets featured and is actually good. It's gonna be him. So
I know I'm forgetting somebody, but yeah. Okay, we'll go Heyman.
Rookie of the year last year's vote was Jade Cargill.
All right, so who are we
Mhm.
considering rookies? Like,
so it's the big three would be Braun, Hook, and the dude from DDT that I can never remember his name.
Dude from BET.
Yeah, there's
DDT.
a DDT. Yeah.
Oh, I thought they said BET.
No. DDT.
I mean, honestly, it's Logan Paul.
I was literally gonna say
Yeah,
Logan
yeah,
Paul.
yeah,
like,
Logan
can we
Paul.
count him? Like,
Yeah.
We can count
I
him.
mean,
He had
I would
three
count
matches
him.
and they were
Yeah,
actually awesome. And he cares. Like he actually tries. So I respect him.
Yes. Yeah, I forgot about Logan Paul. Logan Paul should win it because he doesn't seem like a rookie. I think that's part of the thing. Is he just seems
No, he
which is
does
crazy.
not. No, he does not.
Yeah, he doesn't.
That
seem so,
spot
yeah.
with the phone was just nuts.
So yeah, I at Logan Paul. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Most underrated last year, Ricochet. Ricochet won last year. Most underrated.
Chad Gable.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Seeing Chad Gable live too, like that guy's enjoying being entertaining now. But like that guy, when I think his contract was up. I was like, I kind of hope he left just to try MMA because I'd really like to see what he could do. But he's having the time of his life right now. Give it to him.
I can't think of anyone else.
Until the last few months, I would have went with Suzuki and Stardom, but she's getting a title shot, so maybe not. But yeah. Chad Gable.
Chad, that's a good one.
Most overrated last
Jade
year's winner
Cargill.
was Evil.
You said Jade Cargill.
Jade
come on.
Cargill.
Come on, Jason.
I'm sorry. We need to get past this streak thing. It's been 2 years. We need to get her in.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at
that.
that choice. Like I love Jade, but I'm definitely not mad at that choice.
That's fair. That's fair.
This is a person who we need to actually see in a 10-minute match sell for more than 2 minutes and actually,
She's
lose
not
some
that
matches.
good. She's not that good.
I don't care. They can't pretend that she's like an unstoppable force. If she's not that good, then let her be.
I think
I appreciate how self-aware she is, though, because I don't know if y'all been paying attention to her Twitter. She's like, "Yeah, I've only had like 40 some odd matches. Like I'm not
Yeah,
like
that's what
she's
said.
self-aware."
She had a really good Breakfast Club interview where she kind of mentioned that.
That's
She's
fine,
very
but
self-aware.
they need to do something with her character. They need to because she's just annoying, or not annoying, but it's so predictable what's gonna happen. Like she's gonna win. Like no one's really a contender for her title or anything like that. I don't even think she's adding value to the title right now. That
That's
TBS
fair.
title.
No, I definitely agree that it's time for her to lose. So I think that'll probably. I have a feeling that's gonna happen sooner rather.
I
than
don't
later.
want that to happen, but that's not a bad choice. I don't want.
I think they're peaking
overrated.
towards her being 50-0, and she's probably gonna lose it before then.
Yeah, I think
She could be 50-0, and then 2023 we got to have her lose some matches. Let her actually be a baby face. I think she'd be a great baby face.
Oh, she'd be an awesome gravy.
Like,
But,
just
just
let her be a baby. Like it's weird they have this heel dynamic, and then after her matches on paper, she hugs and kisses her daughter. Like
Yeah.
that is just weird to me. Like let her be a baby face.
Yeah, man, she's a human being. Come on now.
I get that, but on screen we're still trying to present, this babyface heel dynamic, or are we full shades of gray? As Vince Russo
We know
would
the
say?
game. We know the game.
I figure that when she goes babyface, they'll do like an in-depth like video package talking about her daughter.
Yeah, and you know what? It'll be amazing.
Her band and the whole thing, and talking about like, and yes, and it'll be people.
It'll
be
be
like, oh my
amazing.
god, she's even better than we thought. So, but I don't think that's a bad choice. I'm trying to think of anyone else that I would think.
Bow Wow stuff is going to circle back around. I can't wait to see that.
No,
Can we see? Could you put Bray in this spot?
I mean, has he,
I
has
want
he
to.
wrestled yet?
You know, I want to.
Has he wrestled yet?
They don't have
Yeah,
to.
he wrestled. He wrestled yesterday.
Oh yeah, he wrestled yesterday. MSG. We didn't see it, but
I saw clips.
I saw the footage. Yeah, I mean, it's
It
Bray
looked.
Wyatt
It
or
was
whatever.
Bray. It was a Bray Wyatt match.
Karrion Kross. I don't know how rated he is, but
Oh
stinks.
yeah, he sucks.
I've been
He
saying that for
sucks,
years.
man.
I like Karrion Kross.
Killer
Why?
Cross is terrible, man.
No,
You like his wife. You like
No,
his, you
yeah,
like
and
his-
she, honestly, she's overrated too. She don't do nothing.
Oh, y'all tripping, man.
She don't do nothing.
She
That's
doesn't
triple
do
man.
nothing in WWE because WWE's makeup artists make her look horrible.
can we put Wardlow in here? Like
Honestly, hang on.
Can we
Most
put him in?
overrated.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not
Most
mad.
can we put
overrated.
Wardlow?
Ronda Rousey.
Oh,
The fact that
here
she
we
has a
go.
champion is like worse than what she was before.
Yes,
I'm
that's
putting her in
That's probably the best pick because
Which
she's
sucks to
horrible
say,
now.
but she's sucks.
horrible. She's been
Yeah.
horrible since she came back. So
Mhm.
Well, y'all know how I feel about her, so I'm just gonna be quiet.
I can't say, but I've seen Wardlow, and this guy has just been not what.
Wardlow's
Nah,
fine.
I'm not mad at that answer though. I'm tired of the stick now, man. He is stale as bread, man. He is
Anyone who cuts a promo that says, the internet says that Wardlow's lost a step, and then
Oh
it's
my
like,
God.
well, buddy, they took that title off you pretty quick right after that, so I think you have lost a step.
Yeah, I'm not
The-
mad at that answer.
The best flying wrestler last 2 years
Vikingo.
has been Ray Phoenix.
Vikingo.
Kingo,
Mike
Kingo.
Kingo.
and it's not close. I mean, I love Ray Phoenix, but Kingo does
I
things.
don't know, man. I don't know,
Kingo
man.
does things I've never seen.
Vikingo
And
or
that's-
Speedball Mike Bailey?
Speedball. That's what I was gonna say. Speedball's
You
had
put
the best
Speedball over
matches.
Martin.
Yeah, but
Tradarius?
Yeah,
Speedball's had,
Dante.
I would
Speedball has
put-
the best matches though.
Right.
I would put Speedball more in the Daniel Bryan category.
like technical range.
Yeah. Just 'cause
Speedball can
it's-
do it all.
He's awesome.
He's fantastic.
I was watching him on Yui Uemura on Impact. It was great.
I saw his WrestleMania weekend was like the
It's like
best that I've
insane.
ever
Insane,
had.
Mhm.
insane, man.
Crazy.
And I got to see him live this year, and it was like just worth everything to go back to see an independent show. Yep, him and Alex Shelley and Jake something just tore the fucking house down. I can go home now. My $20 was well worth it.
The Bruiser Brody Memorial Best Brawler
Oh, Mox.
last 2 years was Moxley.
I would go Mox again.
Gotta
feel
be
it.
Mox again.
It's Mox.
Not Big Tom ish. You don't got no love for Big Tom.
No, not this year, man. He
Not-
hasn't done
not-
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's on the way down, and Mox has been, Mox is maybe your wrestler of the year, so I think he's got to be here. Unless you're going to play we put him here, so we'll put Ishii here. So
It's Moxley.
but to me, it's Moxley. It's not even.
I'm trying to think like Momo Watanabe. I'm gonna throw her in there too. But that's it. That's all.
The most charismatic last year was CM Punk.
Can it be CM Punk again?
Did we skip the technical wrestler award?
No, we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
Oh, okay, maybe it's okay.
But the answer is MJF though.
But yeah. The
Yeah.
answer is MJF.
No, it's MJF and Punk. I'm gonna put him as a tie because Punk was still very charismatic, and everything he said definitely brought eyeballs to.
Look, they both missed time. So yeah, like
Yes.
fine. I'm with that.
So since we brought up Punk, if he comes back, if they can somehow
he's
bring
coming
him back,
He's coming back.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Well,
You
yeah.
think you think they're going to be like?
I'm
okay,
just,
there's too much money.
hoop dreams. I mean, he absolutely couldn't, but yeah, I would think they're smart enough.
I
But go ahead
would-
and finish your statement.
I was
think
gonna
if
say,
he comes back, it's gonna be very limited, like per appearance. Like
That's
he's
what it
gonna
should be.
appear.
it's what
Like,
it should
yeah.
be. That's what it should be. I'm just saying that if
No more wrestling John
Both
Silver
sides.
or whoever the
Yeah.
fuck.
I think it's going to be very he comes back specifically for the feud, and they make a shit ton of money, just a
Absolutely.
shit ton of money.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was shocked he actually came back as early as he did to do that color for CFFC, the MMA promotion, and they even touch on it. He's like, I'm bad in the locker room. It's just waving.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Yeah.
I was like, I love this guy. He may be the bad guy in most people's eyes, but he's the
We
baby
need
face
him.
to me.
Yeah, we need him.
We do.
And they've been so on the head with it, man.
Yes,
They had to work something out. Like I just believe that.
I
And
think.
They've
did
been
you-
ahead with
did
it,
you
but
hear
Tony's
about,
also been like super quiet about it, which
Yes.
kind of makes it even more suspicious. So
You guys
Well, I
hear about
think-
Dax's podcast where he
Yeah.
pretty much talks about CM Punk. Yeah,
Yeah.
man, they worked something out, man.
What I think that was still like, okay, we're gonna part ways, and I think they did that Chicago show, and I think they were all like, oh wait, we could there's real money to be made
you
here.
didn't even need to see that. So like
I'm
the
just
biggest
saying.
stars in the industry, like, come on. Crying about some backstage. Like, get it together. I don't know. I've been in a fight before. I've been in a lot of fights, but I've been in a fight and I have to go to this is back in high school. I have to go to school and be mutual with the person you fought with.
And sit right next to him. Like
Like, we weren't
sometimes-
making millions of dollars.
And sometimes you would do that, and you'd be much better. You'd be far better off with the dude you just like had to throw with because you just got it out. You got it out.
Mhm.
Okay, so because it's most charismatic still, it's Punk because I couldn't take my eyes off him during that post press conference. It was like, this is the most captivated I have ever been to a screen in my life. I was like, he's going off on Scott Colton. He's going off on those idiots. I work with children. Like, oh my God. I was
Idiots
like, this
think we're working
guy,
in Reseda.
Yeah.
this is the greatest guy ever. And Tony was just sitting there taking it. I mean, that was amazing.
I
They
like
still
people-
haven't taken it down. It's still up. Like, that says something, right?
Yeah,
don't know.
that does. But anyways,
Circling back to what you said, Juice, the Bryan Danielson Award, Best Technical Wrestler. Last year, Danielson got it back after Zack Sabre had it captive for what, 7 years?
7 years.
I'm going to go with Daniel Garcia. I'm going to go with him. I'm going to give it to him this year.
I'm going with Suri.
There you go. That's a good one. I almost want to go Saber because I think
Yeah, ZSJ,
He's had some
man,
awesome matches, man. And like,
he has been incredible this year. man.
he's definitely been a highlight of New Japan. Like the
Yes.
match he had with Ospreay, like his stuff in G1,
was
Kenta
like,
match, and
yeah.
like
I think this is a very up in the air because Danielson didn't wrestle that much.
he was hurt a lot here.
Yeah, and then
Hey, look, if you want to throw Speedball in that category, like
yeah,
that,
you could
We
do
just
that
said
too.
earlier,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
Listen,
very. I
he's
think
been
this
there.
is the,
Or even Josh Alexander. Got to put him in.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Got to put him in there. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy's.
I think this is the most wide open this category could have been in like 20 years. So yeah,
I feel like that for a lot of the categories in wrestling. Like this is a wide open field. No one was, full steam ahead, run away, except like Mox for best brawler. Like
It's an
basically,
amazing problem to have.
yeah, yeah. It's an amazing problem to have in wrestling.
The most improved last year was Tay Conti.
most improved.
This is a tough
Oh.
one.
this is tough because I don't watch enough WWE.
I'm thinking
to-
about everything. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Most improved wrestler. Ooh. I don't know.
You could do Jericho.
Yeah, you could.
You could do Jericho because last year Jericho looked like he was done.
But he was still good. He just was lazy last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
And
feel
then
you on
this
that,
year,
though.
and then this year, like,
No, you know who I'm going with? Chase is not here, but that's how I feel.
Great O'Connor.
Yoshihashi.
Oh yeah,
Yoshihashi, yeah,
that would be
it's not bad.
it's
Great
not bad.
Okan's always been good. I don't know what Chase is talking about, but Yoshihashi.
Great Punch that is shitty gimmick. So
It's still shitty, but he's awesome.
He's Ref Pro champion.
He wouldn't have been though.
He would-
Oh man.
The any other thoughts on that at all? It was a tough one.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody, but yeah, let's move on.
Also, though, Tay Conti winning Most Improved, what a downfall she had this year.
Ooh.
Holy smokes. I just want to say,
but the thing is that she was so bad when she left WWE. And
100%. I agreed with her winning last year. I thought she actually, like, wow, she's become a good wrestler, but now she's
she
rescinded to that NXT level.
well, she's it's like just let her go out and let her do her judo shit and let her look awesome and then be done with it. So
She's with that heat magnet, though. Sammy Guevara, though. That's a
yes.
that's a big
We're
problem.
gonna talk about him when we get to Wrestler of the Year.
Jeff Jarrett and Sammy Guevara, baby. 2022.
Oh,
in a
man.
nutshell.
The feud of the year last year was Omega versus Hangman.
It's Punk versus Mock. Yeah, Punk versus MJF. That's
Yeah.
my feud of the year.
Yeah. There's not much.
That was this year?
Yeah, that was
this
year.
Punk
Yeah.
MJF. Yeah.
Is there anything else that comes close to it at all?
Like,
I would I think if they were allowed to have had the feud on TV, I think FTR
Briscoes and FTR.
Briscoe would have probably been right up
See,
there.
this is tough because I want to go with that.
Why can't you put that on there? I mean, you don't have to like it's like an incredible trilogy.
But it's just the matches, though, Brandon. That's all it is.
But it's three of the best tag
They
matches
did cut
they've
it
some
is.
ever
promos on each
had.
other. Like it wasn't like bad. It just wasn't a lot.
It just right.
Oh man, that I'm torn now. I didn't think about that. I'm torn.
No
Those
love
were-
for Cody
those
Rhodes
were
versus
good.
Seth Rollins.
Did Seth win any match?
No,
How's it a feud?
they wrestled 3 times as a feud in WWE.
Yeah, I know.
it's Punk MJF because I can't imagine ever seeing a segments again where everyone was a grand slam and then the match just delivered, especially that dog collar match,
Yeah.
which then set up a great angle with MJF and Wardlow. But I mean that fell through. But that's not so much the fault of Punk and MJF.
That actually, well, it might be the fault of MJF because he caused a lot of.
Well, that's true.
He took a lot of his
Yeah.
Warlow steam away in that weekend,
Yes, that's true.
and then that happened to him with All Out and Punk. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I would probably go as much as I love FTR Briscoe's great series of matches. I would probably go with Punk and MJF.
Okay.
Do you care to do these MVP choices at all?
No.
What for Japan, US, Mexico?
Yeah, all of
and
those, yeah.
Europe?
Women.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Mexico, Vikingo, America, John Moxley, Europe, even though he didn't wrestle much there, Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
Japan, I guess Okada, and what's the other one? What am I missing?
The women's,
Oh,
right?
Suri. There we go.
Yeah.
You have any standouts, Josh?
No, that's what I would. That's pretty much what I would. I'm trying to. There's.
I mean, I cheated because
I'm-
truthfully, Ospreay is not the European MVP, but I'm cheating a bit. So yeah.
There's. I'm forgetting somebody in AAA.
I would
Not
probably
AAA
cheat and
and
put, like,
CMLL. I'm forgetting somebody in CMLL, and I can.
Fletcher and Davis together as your MVP, at least for me. I enjoyed a lot of their stuff.
CML had a rough year this year.
No, they. ended up having a
It's been better. Like
It's been
it
like
started
the-
rough.
rough, but it got
the-
better.
The second half was great though. Like the anniversary show was amazing. Like you need to watch that if you hadn't.
Juice, I got 2 questions for you.
Yes.
The women's MMA MVP.
Could have been Kayla Harrison, but she lost, so I would go back to
what a bust.
Weili Zhang. She
It's like
won
a
the
Fedor
title.
situation.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Would have been Kayla, but she lost in the PFL final there. So it's Weili Zhang. And
The
she's-
What about the MMA fight of the year?
MMA fight of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's Glover Teixeira versus Yuri Prohaska, UFC 275 in Singapore. One of the best light heavyweight title fights of all time. Probably the second best since Jones Gustafson.
I had the was it Gilbert Burns and the Kazmat match fight?
Oh, Chimaev, yeah, that was
Yeah.
good, but I think the stakes of the title being on the line, and it's
Right.
like Yuri's gonna defend, and then or Yuri's gonna win, then Glover's gonna retain, and they're just back and forth. It was literally a roller coaster of emotion. Just a great fight.
Pro wrestling match of the year. This is a discussion right here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Man. I didn't even prepare for this. I have
Well,
so
this is
many.
what we're going to talk this out. So let's kind of all go through like our top choice, and then maybe you can talk about some others from there. Josh, do you have a choice for your
The
top
dog
match of the
collar
year?
match. The dog
Yeah.
collar match.
That's mine.
That's
Yeah.
when I
Wait,
saw
wait, you mean the Briscoes and
the Briscoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mine's the Punk MJF one.
Oh, so
Ooh.
oh, okay.
I would say Okada Osprey from G1
That's mine.
finals is like
That-
my wrestling.
That-
pro
that-
wrestling
that's
match of the year.
mine.
That's
Yo,
my number two.
I had to work in like 30 minutes before, like after I watched that match, and I was like, I had to call out, let them know I was gonna be a bit late. My emotions were like here, and I had to calm down. It took me like 2 hours to calm down. That Okada guy, man, he's good at this shit, man. He is.
Been
He's
for a
ready.
while.
Their Wrestle
Yeah.
Kingdom match was like
And
fantastic, but I
it's
felt like this one was
fantastic,
like
but,
a little
way-
another
Right.
level from that.
like just a whole nother level. That's the best match they ever had against each other, and that's saying a lot. Like it's man, my God, man. But yeah, that's mine. And the dog collar is so close.
Mhm.
It's
That's probably
so
number two for
close,
me.
man. It's so close.
I mean,
Those-
Sheamus
those
and
would
Walter
probably
had
be
a
most
great
people's
match
choices.
too. That could
I
definitely.
didn't see that, but everyone keeps saying that was
that-
like one of the best matches.
I did watch, and that was probably
That's the
is
best
the
WWE
that was
match
up
I've seen
there.
in a long time.
That's the best. Yeah, the best WWE main roster match in like years and years.
Is it better than? Because I watched it, and I don't care for WWE, so I have no emotion when I watch these matches. But I watched just a couple weeks ago the Hell in a Cell with Rollins and Cody.
It's
Was it-
better.
It's
that.
better than
better
that.
than
Okay.
That
The-
one's
the
just
thing-
that's just impressive because Cody's literally doing all that shit with a torn
Silly.
pack,
Ugh, it's
which is
gross.
like, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
that
Any
Walter
honorable
and
mentions you
Sheamus
guys
match.
got? You got so many
I
amazing
can do this all
matches.
day. I can do this
So-
all day.
So go ahead. What's the honorable mention you got? What you got?
Let's see. Julia and Suzuki, Siri and Momo Watanabe, Anarchy in the Arena,
Mhm.
Jay White, Great O'Khan, like you said, Osprey and
Man, the
and,
Great Khan match came to your head. Wow.
yeah, absolutely, I love it. Osprey and Okada from Wrestle Kingdom, like you said. Let's see, what else am I forgetting?
How would you rank the? How would you rank the 3 Briscoes FTR matches? Because I would say dog
the
collar,
dog collar, the first one, and then the
supercar.
second
Yeah,
one.
that's what I would say.
Let's see what else. What else we got? Mox and Willer Yuta.
Yeah,
The-
Mox and Wheeler had a great match. I think on Rampage. That was
Rampage.
like
And
Okay,
and I love
here's
the
a-
Rampage. I love was the Lucha Bros and Young Bucks. They had like an awesome match.
that
on
one,
Rampage.
that one too. Yuki Yusioka and Yamato from Dragon Gate. Ben K and Yusioka from Final Gate a couple days ago. I gave it
Right. Well,
5
you said
stars.
you said Yuta and Moxley. Where would you put Jericho and Andretti?
I think Yuta and Osprey was better. I mean,
I
Yuta
mean,
and
what are you
Moxley.
judging that on? Because I mean, it's a match. You know, it's a good match, but it's
But
just the
I just-
moment that
It's the moment.
Oh yeah,
It's
the
definitely a
moment is something else entirely. But the match, Yuta and
Yeah. Yeah.
Mox is better. I forgot about. Did I say Mox?
He's
and
talking about
Osprey?
Jericho. I mean, you got Jericho in Kingston from Revolution. Jericho and Ishii was awesome.
It's a really good one.
Yeah.
Ishii and Shingo.
I mean,
Um,
personally, Joe and Suzuki just sitting in the ring beating the shit out of each other.
oh yeah, fuck, I forgot about that. Holy shit, I forgot about that. That was good. Joe and Darby had a fun match on
Oh,
TV.
that
That was like
I wouldn't say it's like match
the
of the
best
year, but
shows
like,
looking years.
yeah, I was like,
Yes.
this is what I need to see. Just give me a feud with those guys.
Oh, and I forgot Josh Alexander and Moose. Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander, shout out to him. That guy's been just killing it in Impact this year.
There are literally so many, man.
The Will Ospreay and Michael Oku match from from
That one
Retro.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
Ospreay and Ricky Knight Jr. We're gonna talk about Ospreay in a little bit because I got something I want to say.
I know for women's matches, Jordan Grace and Masa
Slamovich.
Yeah, from Bound for Glory. That was excellent.
All three of them, great.
In late runners, you can do the Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter and Hikaru Shida.
Jamie Hayter, yeah.
Shit.
Even the cage match, I know it was forgotten about, but the cage match Britt and Thunder Rosa had was pretty good as well. I mean, I would put in the match a year, but
Momo Watanabe and Mayu Iwatani, Miyu Yamashita and Thunder Rosa in Japan. The one in Japan.
We could go on and on. And I think
so
one of
many.
the things is if you like something, there is probably something amazing out there that you would like.
Also, you have to look back at
Higuchi
WrestleMania
and
weekend.
Takashita.
There was some stuff during WrestleMania weekend.
Oh yeah.
Speedball Mike Bailey and Bandito.
Didn't Speedball and Josh Alexander have a match on that weekend?
Yes.
Like that was insane.
Yeah, and they just had a match that went like an hour. It was like amazing. Yeah.
That Impact, shout out to Impact. They just like, yeah, we don't upload this for free. I know you guys are struggling to watch this, but here's like one of the best
hey
matches.
man, it's plenty. If you want to watch some wrestling, like their YouTube channel is filled of some good stuff on there, like current and old stuff. So shout out to them for sure.
I will say it was a great year for the in-ring product of this business, which is a good problem to have, as Brandon said before. Like there's so much talent, so much diversity of styles.
Can't keep up with the stuff.
It's a great thing to have and great to see for the business because, as Brandon mentioned, that Ospreay Oku match, like no one knew who that guy was until that match happened. And look at him now; he's doing big things for himself. So
and like there's so many styles too, because like even if you want to go like high-end sports entertainment, again, I don't like this company, but some of Roman's main events are about as good as sports entertainment can get. Like
if you like that spectacle, that SummerSlam match they had
the shit
was
with
like,
Brock
what the
Lesnar,
hell is
that was
this?
insane. Like this motherfucker has a forklift. What the hell's going on? Like, you know what I mean? It was wild, man. It was wild.
The best weekly television show last 3 years has been Dynamite.
I mean, I guess you got to go with Dynamite again. You have to, I would say. I like. I think Strong deserves a little bit of love too, but I go with Dynamite.
I'm excited to see what happens with Strong this coming up year because I feel like there's going to be some type of collaboration combination when it comes to Ring of Honor. So to get that type of show in front of more people, a little more lively crowd, I'm excited for that for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it has to be Dynamite. Sure, the last quarter of 2022 it wasn't great, but it really had a strong first couple.
Dynamite has been really good the last month or so, man. Like,
it was just that
it
was like that.
It was like
they had a blip there where I was like, this is kind of a waste of time.
Really good,
but it's been a really good show for all of this year. Like, it's the only show I actually make sure I watch on a weekly basis. Just to see.
I told you I couldn't do this on a Wednesday because I'm not gonna miss time. Just so you know, the promotion of the year last 2 years has been All Elite Wrestling.
Stardom.
I would, yeah, because I think this year will probably be, or this coming year is probably going to be a lot more because I think I really do think New Japan. Yeah, I feel like New Japan's coming. I think
I told everyone. They just need a crowd. That's it.
And I think you're gonna have more people watching Stardom because you're gonna have the whole Sasha thing, which is, I think that's gonna be a massive thing. That's gonna be a massive thing. I think.
Well, Josh, we gonna find out, won't we? We will find out.
Will.
Is she a star or is she just a star to the WWE audience eyes? We will find out this year.
Will that fan base follow her?
So how do y'all feel? Like, I mean, just since you brought that up, like, do you feel like they're going to bring her and she's probably going to be on mostly like New Japan shows, but do you think this will help put more eyes onto Stardom? My whole thing is with me, like, I would want to get into Stardom more. The versus, again, I've only watched like maybe 9 or 10 matches this year. I want to watch more, but the fact that they have New Japan World and then Stardom World separate, like I feel like they need to be combined together to give more eyes to the product.
I was holding off on that point. But you are right. In 2023, I feel like there is no excuse why they don't combine the services. Like at this point, there's no excuse. Bushiroad owns it all.
Mhm.
You want the women to be more visible on New Japan shows. Combine the fucking services, man. Like no excuse now. Like charge me a couple more dollars and put Stardom on that shit. Just that simple. I was saving that, but you bought it up.
I have a question. Is the reason they're separate, is that a TV deal though? Is that a TV Asai deal?
I don't know, Josh.
I don't know how
I don't know.
TV
And
side
I don't
works.
care.
I mean,
don't
that
know, and I
would
don't
be
care,
my
but-
one thing with it. I agree, but that would be the one caveat I would have with that is if it's in a TV Asai deal, that's why Stardom isn't on there and whoever. But I would
Bushiroad
agree.
needs to step in. Like,
But
yo,
the whole
we have
point, but
we
apparently
have
the
this
whole-
woman now.
the whole
You know what I
point
mean, the
of-
game is different.
of Sasha and this new IWGP title is to feature more of the Stardom women, especially here in the States. So where they feel like they can make a bigger impact. So, but
Sasha should appear on most of the New Japan shows here, and plus Queendom. And if they could swing it, have her in the 5-star Grand Prix. If they could swing it, I don't know how much it would cost.
apparently she cost a lot. Apparently it's a lot of
If,
money.
if you
so-
can get it done, put her in the 5-star Grand Prix. Absolutely.
because she's gonna. I figured she's gonna win that championship, and then I figured Julia's gonna probably be the one to beat her for that championship.
Nah, Julie's gonna win on the 29th, Josh. She's gonna win on the 29th, man. I'm calling it now. She's got
Just
to.
saying. I'm just saying that, or they unify the title or something. at
Nah,
some point.
honestly, I think Mayu will be the one to beat her for it.
You think?
Yeah. Like she'll win it. And she'll beat, Hazuki, Suzuki. I have a theory that she's probably gonna join like a faction. They'll probably make her a heel. And my theory is I know Stardom fans got mad at me about this, but my theory is that she'll join Momo's group and kick Momo out and become the leader. That's my theory. I can't
So then
remember
how
what it's
does
called
she-
right now.
So how does she do that if she also goes with AEW as well?
That's fine. That's fine. She can do both. It's okay. She doesn't have to be on every show, man. But she don't. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's okay.
Ain't no problem.
Exactly. She's the Brock Lesnar of that company, man. Disappear, do stuff, leave. That's it.
The best on interviews, Lou Albano was the first one.
It's got to be MJF.
MJF was last year's winner.
gotta
It's gotta
be
be
MJF.
MJF.
MJF and Punk tie.
I would not be shocked if next year we have Ricky Starks in this conversation.
I mean, they gotta let him keep doing it.
I know.
But I mean, like, I
Ricky
feel like he
Starks.
can definitely win that.
Kevin Owens has to still be on here. He's the only guy that they let cook on the mic in WWE. The only guy that actually can hold the candle.
He's been cutting good promos.
Yeah, he's been.
Yeah.
Yes.
They
That
let him
Austin
be
stuff
real.
was great. The build up to the Austin
seen
match was
it.
great. He was great. And I think he's gonna be great now in 2023 with this Sammy feud that's probably gonna happen, right? So
For the
Speaking
umpteenth
of
time.
best on the mic, throw
but
him in there.
it means
too.
the most now,
that means
Josh.
we-
I mean, we've gotten to it here and now. I think it'll be hopefully, cross my fingers, it'll be that Ring of Honor level, like lateral.
It won't be
War level. Okay, it won't be, but it'll be like WWE version of that.
I'm like, dude.
Okay,
Hey,
fair.
Hey, throw Sammy in there too, though.
Yeah, I
Terms
would
of,
agree.
best. Yeah, throw Sammy in there.
Oh,
Pat
best on interview.
McAfee also up there. Pat McAfee.
And no bias, Jay White. No bias, but he's been great.
The tag team of the year, last 2 years, Matt and Nick Jackson.
FTR.
FTR. And I don't want to hear anyone. There is no.
Hey,
ar-
hold on. Hey, whoa. Preface this because I know what you're going with.
no. There's
Right, I'm
no,
listening.
There's no argument for any other team. I don't want to hear about the Usos
You
who
gotta
do
go to
the
Usos,
same
man.
thing because it's the truth. They look great team. great team, love them both, but they have not put on the matches the FTR put on.
People hype them up enough that I hate them. Like I like the Usos, but I hate them because y'all won't just let them be who they are.
It's FTR, man. It's not close. FTR. And I don't believe, and I don't trust anyone else that puts anyone above FTR. You have not watched enough wrestling this year. It's just that simple. It's that simple.
What honorable mentions would you have in tag teams?
The Briscoes, the Lucha Bros,
which is crazy that you would put the Briscoes in there because the Briscoes didn't do a lot. But
but
stuff they did was fantastic.
They did. They
did that main event of GCW. I don't count. I won't put that against them. That's not their fault.
But people were hyped because of them,
right,
for that match though. So, and that was not their fault. I mean, Jay went ballistic after that match. Ozzy
Open. In fact, the only team I will hear an argument for against FTR is Ozzy Open. That's it.
I can't believe they're not wrestling on Wrestle Kingdom. Like, what is going on?
They'll probably be on the second. They'll probably be on the second. They'll be whatever that second Wrestle Kingdom show is.
They're doing Yoshihashi a favor. That's what I think.
I think favor.
Yeah, they're rewarding him, man.
New Year's Dash the next night. Like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, cool. I mean, I like you, son. Most, I don't know, Juice, you want to answer this one? Most outstanding fighter of the year?
For me, it's got to be Alex. It's someone named Alex. It's either Alex Pereira or Alex Volkanovski. It's one of those guys. You can pick him. Pereira knocked out Izzy, for the second time, won the middleweight title, and Volkanovski was a force at 145, and he's going up to 155 to try to win the title in February against the new champion Islam Makhachev.
I've heard both of those names, so yeah.
Most outstanding wrestler last year was Shingo Takagi. I know what everyone's answer is, but I'm curious to see what you guys say.
This is another one where if you choose someone other than Will Ospreay, I don't trust you. Will Ospreay has had the best in-ring year of any wrestler of all time. It's not close.
That's a statement.
That is a statement.
He had an amazing 2019, man. So and
it's the truth. Everywhere he has gone, he has had incredible matches. Almost every card he has been featured in a singles match, he's had the best match on the card. He's had some of the greatest matches of all time. His G1, and no matter who was in front of him, he had a great match. Like the man is, it's the best year anyone has ever had, period.
Okay, so the people that will not vote for him, because there are people that will not vote for him.
I know, and I don't care. They don't matter.
Would you accept Bailey as the substitute?
Not over. I think you can put him like an honorable mention of running, but not over.
Not over Will. I'm just saying. I love Speedball, but no.
I'm just saying, because there are those people that will be like, I'm not voting for.
Look, I hear the argument for Suri, love her to death, love her to death. No, it's Will Ospreay. It's just, you're wrong. If you don't vote Will, I can't trust you. Even if you don't like his style, and that's fine. It's still
not his
Will
style.
Ospreay.
It's not his style. It's him.
But
I just don't like him.
But I know some people that don't like his style. They don't like the way he wrestles, and that's
those people say that he still is a flippy guy.
Because they well, yeah, you're right, because they don't like him. But yeah, man, it's Will Ospreay. Period.
Okay.
The wrestler of the year overall.
I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna go with Will Ospreay again, man. Like, this one's a bit closer. There's argument for other people, but for me, it's Will Ospreay. He has been a draw everywhere he's been. He has been, especially in England, especially in England for Rev Pro. He sold out every venue he's been in for them. In Japan, he's a huge star. Over here, he's a draw. It's Will Ospreay. Mox is a close second for me.
I have Mox number 1 and Ospreay number 2.
It's Will Ospreay for me, though. But I understand. Mox is a good choice.
Mox for me. That guy ruined so many of his vacations to save AEW when
Mox ain't the type of dude. I love people say he ain't want to go on vacation. He's going to wrestle. So let him keep wrestling.
His wife wants to go on vacation, Brandon. His wife wants some time off.
I feel like
Okay.
She signed with the company so she can be
Yes.
close to him.
Yeah.
Like, it's all it is because he won't leave. That's
I'll
what
never see you again, so I would like to work here, Tony. Okay, yeah. Okay, we can make that happen. Yeah, it's
Would you hear
Mox.
any type of argument for Chris Jericho?
For wrestler of the year, yeah, you know what? Okay, I'll buy that.
I don't say that, but I know he's
I-
going to be in the mix.
I'll buy that.
Takeshita is going to be in the mix.
For wrestler of the year,
No,
And these people, I'm not saying. I'm just saying you're going to hear this. Dax Hardwood. You're going to hear these people say this.
Fuck that.
nah, man. Nah.
I'm just going off what the streets are talking about, man. But I would say Moxley.
Yeah, I would go with John Moxley. I mean, guy did everything he could. Was in probably most of the best matches in AEW this year, and was the glue when they needed him. the true locker room leader when they needed him.
Had awesome matches with New Japan as well. I mean, even though
Yeah.
it was like US based, but it's still really awesome.
Yep.
Save the company.
and
And
yet-
even
and yet-
even in the beginning of the year when he was doing that traveling with GCW, he was great there.
And yet none of us brought up Roman.
He don't have the matches, man. Like
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just
And-
pointing out. that-
And he don't have the draw ability like
Oh,
like
that's
these
it.
other dudes we talked about too. Like he's on the show and the same amount of people watch the show. He's announced on cards and like maybe 400 more tickets.
how are people not bored with the shtick? These 6-minute entrances of holding your fingers up, pyro one time, walk, pyro it again.
And look, I think he's been great in this role, but it's
Yeah,
stale, man. It's
this should have been
stale.
back in 2015 is when they should have did this, but
Exactly.
Well, they don't listen to their fans until
clearly.
their owner had to leave. That was, but I mean, I'm still not bored of the Roman Reigns character. I think it's actually great. It's one of the best things they have going. But his matches are very predictable, where he'll take over, he'll be on the ropes, looks like he's gonna get pinned, and then he comes away with 10,000 spears. And
So let me ask you this: in 2023, does he lose the championship?
yes, I believe.
Yes.
Aren't they saying he's gonna lose both of them on both nights?
or something. I don't.
That's what I'm
Oh.
hearing.
Maybe better not lose to The Rock. Who the fuck does that help, man? Who does that help, man?
But The Rock needs the PR now.
Yeah.
So he's
Does
gonna
it
be
help
back.
if Cody beats him?
Well, I mean, that's better than The Rock. At least he's gonna be there. At least
What-
Cody's gonna be there.
What are they going to do after Roman loses the belt? Because I can guarantee Roman's not going to jump into the next feud or into the next program. He's going to go away.
Yeah, he's gonna take some time
Like,
off.
what are they going to do? Like, and I can't put it on the same level because it's not the same business wise, but this kind of feels like a situation where Ring of Honor put everything into the Bullet Club and let them be like the star attraction of the company. And like they
They all
had like their
left.
biggest business and everything was great, and then they left, and then everything tanked. And I don't think WWE was going to tank like that. Like I feel like they're dummy proof to do that. But when it comes to like the fan engagement, are you going to have people still invested once Roman loses and goes away? Like is Cody going to be that guy to carry the company? Like who's going to be the next person up?
He will until they turn on him. Like
He'll do that.
Yeah.
But I think Cody, like the story of Cody winning, considering his dad never won that title, his brother had never had a chance to really be that guy in that company. If Cody wins that title, it'd be cool. As Markeem said, the fans will turn on him because that is always what happens. But he'll be a great heel champion if they actually let him go. Like when you look when he was like that leader of the Bullet Club, like he was a great heel. And if he can stay healthy, I think that's the biggest thing for Cody Rhodes. If he can stay healthy, he can be someone there to fill the void. I think the biggest thing for WWE is like how long till Peacock just buys them.
Yeah.
that is a very good point. That is a very good point.
Like
I think that's one of the biggest questions for 2023 is
I think
is
one of
that
the
gonna
biggest
happen?
questions for 2023 is just like the rights deals coming up and just like
Right.
how much AEW is going to be worth, how much WWE is going to be worth. Like, is Peacock just going to buy them outright? Like, there's so many of those questions.
I'm excited for the McMahon drama that is definitely going to boil over in 2023.
Because he wants to come back if you believe the
Like,
report.
like, do you like? I see like Vince like hijacking like a Raw or a SmackDown. Like, go on StubHub, get some front row seats, and
Rise
just be
Vince.
there. And like, hey,
Rise
you won't let me
Vince.
back? I'm gonna come here and hijack it. I'm gonna take pictures and sign
mean-
autographs and just create a distraction
I mean, technically,
enough that you gotta say something to me. I feel like we're gonna see something goofy like
technically
that.
he can come back if he wants to come back because he technically does have the final say.
Oh yeah,
but-
yeah. It is a publicly traded company. He still owns most of the stock.
It's just real life succession.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could come back. I don't think the other stockholders would like that very much with the PR nightmare that would be, but who knows what ends up happening. There's a lot of intrigue going into this year. Like you guys watch more wrestling than me, but who's your like potential breakout star for the new year?
Probably Ricky Starks, I think.
If they buy into him, Ricky Starks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think he's shown the most. So and maybe it'll be who's Rick Steiner's kid?
Oh,
Braun Breaker.
Yeah, Braun
Yeah,
Breaker.
maybe
Is he
if
good? Like legit.
I
Is he
love
good?
like him.
I love
Yeah.
him to death. I love him to
he's
death.
still
man.
like if
Just
he's
call him
in
Braun
there,
Steiner though, for the love of God.
Yeah. The thing is if he's from what I've seen, he is able to be in there with people who are better than him and he's able to be carried. But if he's in there with someone that's close to the same level he is, then things don't look as good. So it's one of those situations. But I think he could be good. I think Ricky could be much better. I think we've seen glimpses of that. So and maybe somebody we don't even think of. So
Now
Ren
you know
Narita.
I was gonna say him too, but honestly, a big game changer could be wherever Kota Ibushi ends up.
this is true. This is true.
You know, I personally think he's gonna up in Noah, but that's
I'm wondering.
a huge game changer.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he shows up in Noah, just how that like are other people then willing to go to Noah if he's there?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of the guys that
Japan
are
just blew up.
yeah, all of the guys that are leaving the smaller Japanese companies,
Yeah.
that might be where they end up because of Kota, because he's friends with all of them. So
In Noah or Kota's his new imaginary
No, his
promotion
in,
he's
in
gonna
Noah,
make.
in Noah,
Okay.
in Noah.
I hope to God he's not serious about that.
The triangle ring.
The triangle ring and shit.
Triangle ring. What?
That's like a
Yeah. Juice is not as cool
Triller,
as it
like a
sounds.
Triller
Not as
fight.
cool.
No,
Thriller
it that
boxing
sounds
fight.
terrible. There's a bare knuckle boxing that has a triangle ring. The triad. It looks awful. It's gonna be awful. Don't
I
do
thought
it,
all the-
whoever this is.
I thought the bare knuckled people had the round ring, or is that somebody?
There's a different bare knuckle that has a triangle ring.
Oh,
BYB.
And also
or-
someone fight or like Triller that had like a
Yeah,
triangle
Triller
ring. I
had
was like,
that, and then this
what is
BYB
this?
promotion sued them. They're like, "That's our copyright. You
Yeah.
can't do that."
Awful.
Remember Triller?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Don't they own Fight TV or something?
yeah, they own
Yeah,
Skype.
They own everything, man.
That's
They bought
about all they
everything.
own. They don't really put shows on anymore.
Versus, they own all of it.
Yeah, I don't know. 2023 is going to be a good year. Like, what do you guys think's the potential biggest story? Or
The McMahons. I'm telling you, I can't wait.
yeah.
The McMahons, I gotta be like. There's gonna be some
There's gonna be some
infighting
stuff.
between them, like Stephanie and Hunter and Nick Khan versus Vince, and I don't think Vince is gonna come. Like that just sounds so wacky
yeah,
to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
We're pro wrestling fans, man. Would you be shocked by that? Come on now.
No.
Craziest stuff. Well, I can't say craziest stuff.
Have
has
you
happened. I
tried
can't
to
say that.
explain this to a regular human being at all, and just been like,
If it's a-
Oh yes,
yeah,
And-
just
and-
like what's going on? Just like this has been the craziest year of wrestling. Like just trying to explain this to someone, it's just like they wouldn't understand at all.
no, like the wrestling fans at where I work at, that are definitely not as hardcore as me. They did not get the Vince McMahon thing at all. They were just like, oh, they all thought he was just getting sued. And I was like, oh no, he's already he's paying people so he
$20
won't
million.
get sued.
He's
Yes.
paying more for women than he bought World Championship Wrestling for. Like, let's put it into that perspective.
Yes. Yes.
No,
So,
another
it was-
another big thing. Is Tony just content with just having Ring of Honor or Honor Club? You think he tries to do something?
I think
Shop
that
this
he'll-
thing around?
I think this is what I think. because since no one at the press conference bothered to ask shit,
No, they just, hey, Your Majesty, I have a question for you. Your Highness, I have a question for you. I can't believe every single one of them said that to Joe. Every single one of them.
The man said
geeks.
the man, he set the stage. He was like, look, I'm cool with Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't want to jeopardize my relationship with Warner Brothers Discovery. And he was ready for those. He was ready for all of them. He was ready for them to ask him about all that stuff.
Like all you had to do was, hey, is the Warner Brother deal that you have mean that you cannot negotiate with Ring of Honor with other people? That's all you have to ask. And if he's like, well, that's part of the problem, then you'd be like, all right, well, there's the answer. So we'll
that's enough. I'm done. That's all I need to know.
Okay. They didn't want it, and now we have to wait till the new TV deal. Okay, that's fine. But couldn't even get that.
What if Fox comes in? It's like, yo, I want all this. Give me Rampage. Give me Dynamite. I'll put Ring of Honor on FS1.
Oh, I think he walks. I think if you can get Dynamite on like Fox, and then Rampage on whatever FX,
like half the cost what you're paying for.
Yeah.
WWE right now, and you know you're gonna have to pay more than what you're paying them if you want to keep them.
Yes.
Just do the whole Spike TV TNA route. Like, we'll just pay these guys cheaper, and
right.
Yo, that would be so crazy.
Yes, it would be.
I'm rooting for that.
Imagine just like those NFL games. It's like coming up later on Friday night. It's Wardlow in the Fox title, and back to Cowboys game here. But Wardlow, he'll be on Friday. That'd be.
From the streets of Yonkers, New York, the King of Diamonds, Eddie Kingston versus
Eddie Kingston promoting
Eddie
things
Kingston
on
doing
Fox.
promos.
I need to have
during MLB playoffs, like the Yankees come on there. Oh, let me tell you something.
Yo, Aaron Judge coming up to plate right now.
I remember when Joe Torre was here. Joe Torre.
Remember when we won all them titles in the 90s and 2000s? We got it now. Oh, yes.
I could so see him like on a baseball pot, and then people just being like, "Oh, I gotta watch this. I gotta watch this crazy man."
No, I need Eddie Kingston just promoting Fox Sports. Like that's what I need. Fox Sports promotions. I mean, I never thought of that, but I know that deal's coming up. And like, if you're Fox, do you even bother keep WWE? Like, I don't feel like it does anything. It does more for WWE.
They were laughing on the first night they were there when the Fiend was out there. Like, dude, what is this?
Yeah. I mean, if they just want something for like Friday night and to fill a spot that'll get good,
Now, how do you feel? Like, if they come and say, hey, Rampage on Fridays, we'll give you 2 hours on Fox, but you're going 8 to 10. And then Vince or Hunter, he's doing 8 to 10 on USA or whoever. Like, do you do that? Do you run head?
You got to do it.
You got to take it.
You got to
take it.
Well, Hunter would have to, because you can't mess up that relationship you have with NBC. You can't piss them off. I'm sure that's probably a big craw at NBC's. You'll say, "Oh, these fuckers are on Fox with their other show."
I mean, there's said to be like resentment there because, like, Fox was told they were going to get certain people, they haven't gotten those people. Universal feels like they should get some because they've always been there.
Who is Fox? I mean, they got Rousey, they got Reigns, they got the Fiend.
I think they wanted stars from the past. I think they wanted Austin, The Rock, and stuff like that.
Yeah, they wanted like Brock and Ronda only to be on SmackDown, and that hasn't happened. So,
well, that's a shame. And that company's going to be interesting. We'll see how this WrestleMania does, or in LA. Maybe The Rock will win the title just to make Marquis happy.
Hey, Dwayne could use a win right now after this Black Adam.
I mean, that is true.
He's taken, so he might just come in. Hey, not only do I want to come back, but that championship,
let me
hold that for a minute.
I'll hold it for like a month and like.
Let me show up on the 50-yard line of the XFL finally with the championship.
Yeah.
Oh. That's also coming back, man. XFL. Can't wait. So excited.
I just want for if Triple H is going to change everything.
What's your New Year's resolution for 2023?
I'm holding out hope, man, that he's going to change it all, man. Like, he's waiting for the deal to put his stamp on I'm hoping.
Okay.
He put Top Dollar on TV, man. Like, what's gonna change, man?
Oh man, because I don't believe that this dude, this is him. I don't believe it. I
You
refuse
think
to
it's
believe.
do you think
that.
it's still Vince like doing things through him?
It's
No.
gotta be, man.
I
It's
don't know.
something.
This is
Because
him,
like,
man.
because
I
like
guess
at least even when I didn't like NXT, I could rely on like the in ring. You know what I mean? To be like, well, I can't deny how good this is. It's not even like that anymore, man. I don't. The roster is so talented, man. It's got to be something else there. I don't believe it. It's got to be. It's got to be. Has to be.
Do you think it's the other con, Nick? That's kind of the bigger factor.
Well,
in all
I
this?
would question why is it that Mr. Dunn is still with the
Dunn,
company?
Pritchard, they're still there.
They're all still there. Yeah, the yes men. The yes men are all still there.
So, and those were all people that were said that we were told before that if they took over, they were all gone. And that
Tony
hasn't
just
happened.
hired one of his dudes, the
Yeah.
production guy.
Yeah, the guy that was supposed to take over for Dunn. And so
I so hope they
'Cause
don't
Vince
get
has
too
still got his hand
WWE
in the
with
cookie
this
jar, man.
this new direction. I'm excited for this new set and new look for Dynamite. I just hope it's not like a Raw SmackDown situation, man. Like it doesn't need to be too pretty. Like please don't.
you don't want it, you don't want it, you don't want it to
It should be a little bit more jazzed up, just to, make some people feel comfortable because some people like the bright lights and the flashy pyro and stuff like that. But it don't need to go overboard at all.
You don't want it to be like overly glossy and stuff.
you don't
like
need
No.
the you don't need the
You,
3D
you don't need the
graphics.
the 8K
WWE,
camera.
they treat the dude. I just noticed this on WWE is that when they do backstage segments, they put the names up of the people who are back. Like
Oh, I didn't
we
know
know who
I
these
never
people
noticed
are.
that.
Like
I never
what are you
noticed.
doing? Like why do you have to have that?
I never noticed that.
Emma carrying cross. Like
What they do?
yeah, go back and watch any backstage
It's like
segment.
a-
They put up the name of the person who's there
It's like
every
it's
single
like,
time.
It's like if you were watching something on like Sports Center and they stick it up when they're doing the interview.
Like you don't know who these people are. We watch the show.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I don't want any of that stuff near AEW personally. But I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see where their relationship with New Japan grows into. I'm obviously excited to see what New Japan is going to be able to do with, pretty much crowds coming back. Hopefully they have some more international talent coming here. I'm very excited for 2023.
Everybody's flying back and forth now. Like
Yes.
everyone.
I think that's the biggest thing is like COVID is officially over. The borders are open. You can go anywhere. You can travel anywhere. You can bring talent from here and there. You don't have to worry about them quarantine. I mean, COVID's still around, whatever, but most people are vaccinated and things like that. That's the thing that I think is most exciting for.
We're able to navigate this, and this was more
Yes.
exciting.
It's more exciting. There's a lot more. I mean, I guess one of the last things is like, what's your biggest hot take for the year, or like things you think that'll happen that may, be a curveball to, the rest of us here or anyone out there watching?
I already told my story about Vince hijacking Raw, SmackDown, or SmackDown.
I kind of like that.
I don't think they're going to sell this year. I think that's a little too early in the game.
I don't either.
I just think again you're going to get some crazy fighting between the family. I'm excited to see that. It sounds horrible, but I don't care about them. They're billionaires, whatever. Bring on the drama.
I don't know. I think, I think just to see, I guess, more maybe AEW's working relationship with, the UFC, because now that power slap is going to be like that lead in for the after show. And I know Dana and Tony Khan have kind of relationships, so I wonder what crossovers are going to happen now. Who from AEW is going to be in power slap in an episode? That's going to happen. Bring on Wardlow to power slap.
I see Eddie Kingston.
Joe.
Bring Ishii, just bring him across.
Yeah,
just let him slap someone. I think for me also is like, I know I don't really watch much of Stardom, but that seems like a promotion that's really going to grow this year.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for
they've grown every year.
Yeah,
so absolutely.
Just women's wrestling altogether. Like I feel like AEW, like this stigma still of like the bad women's division, even though like the last 4 or 5 months have been really solid, honestly, with the division, getting that stigma off of them and like being like one of the top women's divisions.
I think the problem with
that's my
AEW, I think
That's it right
the
there.
problem with the AEW women's division is because the men's division is like next world, like crazy talented shit that it just makes the women look worse. I don't think it's ever been like dog shit horrible, but I think it just makes it look
I do.
that much that much
But it's not
that much
anymore.
worse. I think it just makes it that much worse. And I think the fact that you had COVID and you weren't able to use like the international talent that they wanted to, and now you've got probably the whole thing where, you know, how much of the companies they have relationships with the women in Japan versus, you know, using stardom stuff. And then, but I think if they bring in Sasha, I think it'll be I think it will shut a lot of people up. I think the Sasha thing could be like a major story, and the fact that if she comes in and she moves numbers the way that it seems like she's moved numbers in the past in WWE, and she does that for AEW, I think that would be a big deal. That's one of my big things. Is I think
That's to me, that's the key for Tony Khan to, and no disrespect to all the other women around Japan and all the other companies that he works for, he needs to focus on working with Stardom, man. Like seriously, bring all those factions over. Bring God's Eye, Queendom, all of them. Donna Del Mar, all of them. Bring them all over. All those chicks. Like, sorry, Miyu Yamashita. Sorry, Emi Sakura. Sorry, all y'all can stay over there. Sever all ties with those people and bring in the actual stars over there, which is Stardom. And then that's how you get more, because honestly, what company online other than like, you know, AEW, WWE has more buzz than Stardom? Like
I don't
online.
know, but all this
Right.
talk about Stardom and all these women, especially if AEW brings in Sasha, does AEW do like a women's event only at some point? next
Exactly.
I'd
year?
much rather see a
Exactly.
women's
Something like
event
that.
versus a women's show, which they've been rumoring. I'd much rather just
No,
see like a big
no
event.
more women's shows. Just one event. Like, just I'm sorry, there's no. I know there's fans of women's wrestling. Women's wrestling's great. Proud of the women, but there's no
It doesn't
market
draw.
really for
It doesn't draw.
a 1 hour women's only show. I'm sorry, there's not. It will never work.
Not a TV show. Well,
Not
not-
TV
not
show.
maybe a streaming, but
A pay-per-view, sure, it'll work. It's proven it's worked. But I could see AEW maybe doing an all-women's show, especially as you guys say, if they really get this Stardom deal working. And you get Sasha, who WWE just let walk away. That's a story that I can't believe. Like, if Vince hadn't done his thing, this would be one of the bigger stories of the year. They just let her go. Like, yeah, sure, you can leave and never come back.
because we're not going to pay you what we
got
pay.
lawyers involved. Anytime the talent gets lawyers involved, it's over. Like,
Yeah,
I guess you just got to pay your lawyers, but it just seems like that's the way out. Just
well, and
take
she's
people to
got,
court.
and she has real representation.
Raven.
She has
Yeah.
like, that's the other thing is she's got real representation in Hollywood. So I'm sure they were like, what is this bullshit? No, you can do better going elsewhere. So I'm sure that's part of it too. And I'm just shocked that she was like, just pay me what you pay Charlotte and Becky, and I'll be happy. And they were like, no.
Oh, and Oedo Tai is the name of the group, the Momo Watanabe's group. I just remembered. But yeah, bring all those chicks over, man. That's all you got to do. Bring them all over.
But it's interesting. Also, the other in the AEW part of it, I think if Thunder Rosa comes back, I think that whole thing will be completely fascinating too.
Yeah, what is up with her?
She took that spot that I really had for Sasha. Just like Sasha was that female wrestler that I loved a lot, not just because of like looks and everything, but like her confidence that she brought was like the thing that attracted me to her the most. And I feel like Thunder Rosa kind of took that spot, at least for me, took that spot away. But this whole last few months and just kind of hearing things,
The chase was
like,
better than the reign. Like the chase to the title was great. The
a
actual
lot of
reign,
people are like that.
yeah, no.
There's
Her
tons of
title,
people like that.
I think
title
that-
reign's been trash.
I think if Punk comes back, I think that'll be a huge story for 1,000 different reasons. And they really go, okay, we're gonna do this feud and we're gonna really hit it.
Like you said, make it a special attraction. Like,
Yeah, like make it like I would have him. See, this is what I'm gonna fantasy book a little bit here. I would have the
Go
end of
away.
the best of 7. The
Yeah.
end of the best of 7. You have Punk and you have mask guys come in, attack the Bucks and Kenny, and then it turns out to be FTR and Punk. Ultimately, I don't think it should be FTR. I think it should be, but you can't do this. It should be the Briscoes. I think Briscoes with Punk would be even a bigger deal because then you could really get into the, blur the lines about who was right, who was wrong, all of this stuff. You find out that the Bucks have been like basically keeping the Briscoes out of AEW and that whole dynamic, and maybe even then bring in FTR and you can do blood and guts down the road with like the elite of in some form versus Punk's group. I think that would be the way to go, but we're so far away from that. That would,
Oh, you were definitely fantasy booking.
yeah. I said I was fantasy booking, but
Yeah.
at the very least, I think it should be like Punk and FTR versus Kenny and the Bucks, and just go with it. So,
And then when they come back,
Who
one of them
should
has
win?
to wear a dog mask.
it depends on like how involved you get it. Like I said, if you were like, okay, we're gonna take this through to like blood and guts, and we're gonna end this in blood and guts, so we're gonna bring in like more people to some degree. I think ultimately, I don't think you could do this, but this would be kind of, you tell Punk this is the make good, is you have Punk's team lose, but you have you have
Hangman?
Hangman beat Punk,
Yeah.
and that would be the be the one that beats him, and that would escalate the story of like him basically saving the elite and that whole thing as well, and falls into that story as well. But again, that's all fantasy booking, and who knows what will actually happen. So
I fantasy book a healthy year for Adam Cole.
yes,
I
Yes.
feel bad for this guy. Like,
yeah,
man, like, I need him back. So
And
healthy
Kyle
for
O'Reilly.
everyone, honestly. Everybody be healthy.
And Kyle
Just-
O'Reilly. Yeah. I
Yeah.
missed those guys. They're missing out on some of that talent that they signed. It was a big deal. And yeah, cool.
That could be nuts. I mean, if you can get Adam Cole back, you get CM Punk back, you can sign Mercedes. Maybe you can get an appearance or two from Kota Ibushi. I mean, you're cooking with some fish grease, hot grease right there. So that would be exciting.
would be.
I would agree with that.
That crazy person.
I mean, I think one of my also questions is, I know Nakamura, he's going to Noah for New Year's Day to wrestle Muda. Is this an agreement that actually sticks around? Like, do they actually
I
work
think
together?
man.
I think that's a one.
Here's the thing. See, I would agree with you, but I don't know, man. Like,
I feel like Carl
Triple H
Anderson's going to no-show
actually
Wrestle Kingdom.
different?
Let me say that out loud. He's going to no-show Wrestle Kingdom. They're going to pull him at the last minute.
He's not gonna no show. He's not gonna no show.
We'll see.
He's
a
not
lot of
gonna
people
no
on
show.
that show, man.
He-
They're like,
he's
let's find one show there.
He's definitely gonna lose, but he's not
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
no show.
yeah, for sure.
Nah, he'll be there. He'll be there to have a terrible match. And I feel
Mhm.
bad for Tama because Tama has worked so hard this year, man. He's been good this year, and he's gonna just a stinker. Just there's no chance that'll be good. There's no chance.
But
Because Carl Anderson don't give a damn.
is there any way that WWE can keep this Noah thing going? Because like,
And that's the
this,
thing,
this
like,
match to
I'm-
me is exciting. Just the fact that WWE's letting this happen, and Noah's tried to make this happen before, but with Vince there, he's like, absolutely
I
not.
probably think they're doing it because it's not going to draw any attention.
Yeah, but I also think that isn't the rumor that they're going to induct Muda into the Hall of Fame. Isn't
Ah.
that
Oh, I didn't hear that.
maybe
That makes sense.
yeah, that this
I mean,
is
that makes sense for sure, but isn't Muda a big deal, like in the upper echelon of Noah, like behind
Yeah.
the scenes?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
Very
yes.
much so.
Unfortunately.
oh yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
People,
So-
there's a lot of people that will not cry when he leaves Noah. It'll be like go and take all your people with you and bring in new people, please.
I stopped my subscription to fucking Cyber Fight because of that fool. I can't do it, man. Him and all those old dudes, man. I can't do it. So good riddance is how I feel about Great Muda. Don't let the door hit you On the way out, motherfucker. I hate this guy, man. It's that simple. Hate him. Shit's not funny, Josh. It's not funny, man.
It's funny.
Kaito Kiyomiya's his gimmick is now I'm Junior Muto. What is this, man? He does the Shining Wizard, dresses like him, does the fucking pose. Like, bro. He had to become him to beat him.
Yeah, I
right.
understand. I
right,
get
man.
it. What have I said? I said that I liked the first thing that they did, and then what did I say? I said then it needed to be over then, and he needed to be like
if he
tags on
just
the bottom.
he can still win all the time. It's fine. Like he's Muto. I get it, but like you have to make these dudes look good, man. You've got to. They all look like geeks, man. Like you don't sell for them. They pin you, and then you just walk out the ring. Like, you like when he loses, he just walks to the back in shame. You know what I mean? Doesn't shake the guy hand.
So you just gonna not? Are you not gonna watch the Wrestle Kingdom match?
Unfortunately, I am.
Come on, man. Show us going to get put over in that match.
And I'm gonna watch the fucking January 1st Noah show because Kenta and Marufuji are teaming up again, and I gotta watch that. But like, yeah, man, I hate him. I hate him. I seriously hate him, man. I hate him. The most overrated, right there. That's who it is. Keiji Muto. Absolutely.
No one thinks he's good.
Yeah, but he's everywhere.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, man.
Any last thoughts from the group at all?
Nah.
Josh, you can wrap this up.
I think that's it. I think we've covered a lot of topics on top of just covering the last year. I think in general, like Brandon said, I hope everyone who is not here with us is doing well.
Even you, Jim. Even you.
Yes, even you, Jim. But on top of that, I think we are going to have an awesome year coming up. I think just a lot of things are lining up for it to be an awesome year for pro wrestling. And if you can't find something you like in pro wrestling, I don't think you're looking hard enough. That would be my other thing. There's more than enough stuff out there that is good. I think there's very few things I would say are horrible. So
yeah,
there we go.
It's definitely not a year where anything was really horrible, just maybe not great or good.
Right.
It's going to be a good year. We wish everyone has a happy and healthy 2023, both here and in the worlds of professional wrestling. But it should be a great year. I'm excited to see what promotion rises, who rises in the ring, who falls, and for Brandon's sake, the McMahons have a fallout or things like that, just for the entertainment
Session.
value.
I can't wait. Play the theme music. Let's do it.
The return of Tessa Blanchard. No, I'm joking.
Oh my god!
You joke.
Yeah, I know she's been booked for WrestleCon. So
yeah.
Wow.
We'll see.
Former Impact champion. I mean, we already got some matches lined up for this year upcoming. I don't know. I mean, Josh Alexander probably loses that Impact title to Bully Ray.
Man, don't play like that, man. Don't play like that.
It's probably gonna happen.
The angle wasn't half bad. I actually enjoyed
Oh man.
No, it's good. It's just like
he can't lose, though, man. He can't lose, man. That'd be terrible.
That'd be terrible. But it's good, yeah. But a lot of topics, big year ahead.
Yeah, definitely excited for this year.
Hopefully we actually can see each other in person now that COVID is pretty much over. Hopefully at some point we can.
All out weekend, man. Come on.
There we go.
Gotta do it.
All out or
that's my plan, man. I hope.
It's a fun weekend.
Or double or nothing. One of the two.
Oh, that's not happening. That's Vegas. Y'all crazy.
What do you mean?
No.
What do you mean you know? It's Vegas. That's easy. It's cheaper and easier to get to.
Nah, we'll talk after this.
Can wrap it up, Josh.
Right. With that, I'm out. We're all out. Have a good one. Later.